Hey guys.
Hey guys.
Hey guys, and welcome to Time to Talk, the podcast with Lewis and Reiss. I'm Lewis,
And I'm Reiss.
and we're back with another episode, another podcast, and we're on Spotify now as well.
I know, Jesus Christ.
I
Moving
know.
up in the world.
Finally, I'm happy it's on there. To be fair, I'm glad that we've got there, and
Yes.
I've tried to put it on Apple Podcasts as well, but it just says like for a review, it's like submitting for a review or something like that. But it's fine.
I'll be honest with you. People do have Apple Music. They're broke. Who has Apple Music?
I only have it because, you know, you've got like the family plan on iPhone.
Okay.
I'm still on that, so my dad pays for the Apple Music for all of us.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just on that plan anyway. But I probably would have Spotify if I didn't use Apple Music. But I've literally got everything Apple Music, so.
See, when Apple Music is in my yearly review of my music, and I'm like, ooh, jams, and I'm like, oh, it's my music.
Yeah, literally at the end of the year, I'm like, come on, that's a fucking banger. I'm like, oh, yeah, I listen to it all the time. So, tell me, because I know I've been pissed off by a lot of things these last week, these last few days.
Mm-hmm.
What few things have pissed you off these last couple of days? What things have really, like, is it ground your gears?
Grind.
Okay, what grinds your gears?
Wow, ground. That's past tense, isn't it? That's ground. Just life in general. Yeah, just life. Just life. Just people breathing.
Nice.
Yeah. Probably just this lockdown now. But good news, Buzzer. Ready for June.
Yeah. Everyone's ready for June now. I think 22nd of June is actually trending on Twitter. Right now.
I booked my haircut for the 14th of April. So when I get the haircut, ladies and gentlemen, you'll get to see.
Yeah, that's why me and Reiss are wearing these hats, because right now no one needs to see what we're working with.
Honestly, we'll do like a before and after the haircut.
Yeah, definitely.
And they can see it and they can be like, oh yeah, we don't blame you.
Yeah, I can see the difference. So the other day I was driving to Lidl, and you know there's like that little bridge bit that's kind of only one car can get through at a time, and you kind of got to wait the other side.
King's Heath.
No, it's literally just up the road. It's just off Ravenshill. Anyway, it's one of those ones where only one car can go through at a time. And I was clearly driving to like try and go through this tunnel, like this bridge thing.
Yeah.
The cars on the other side can very clearly see that I'm driving. And this one guy literally starts coming through at the same time I'm going through. I've had to E-stop. And then he had the cheek to go past my car, wind his window down, give me the two fingers and drive off.
What good? Now, to be fair, you can kind of it's common decency. If you're speeding 30 miles an hour and that person can see you're coming and are you going down the hill?
No, so it's not a hill, but like
you turn left, then you turn left, don't you?
You can turn left, or you can go straight on.
And you
went
left.
My side of the road was the one that was having priority at the time, so he could see I was coming through.
You know what happened? He got annoyed at waiting. That's what happened.
Yeah, but still, it like that. I mean, I had a shit day at work that day anyway, and then that kind of just topped it all off. If I didn't need a drink beforehand, after that car journey, I was like, right, I need a drink.
Yeah, mate, the thing is, I think everyone across the board is just more aggressive and moody at the moment. Proper moody. But to be fair, think about it. The sun is staying out longer.
Yeah, exactly.
Good news about Barta. Pubs, clubs, hairdressers, gyms, everything. Everyone's going to be... You'll see everyone now start perking up a little bit because they're like, oh.
I think it's good because we've kind of got... I know nothing is absolutely set in stone yet, but we've kind of got something to work towards at least. We've at least got something where it's like, okay, by this time, we might actually be able to do this. By this time, we may be able to do that. All of those different things. So, you know, it's good at least.
I don't know, but the thing is, if you look on the steps he put out, it's he's put a little bit of like a hints where he might change it, just depending on things. But if everyone just sticks to the actual rules this time and no one breaks it, this is gonna be the great British summer, man. Everyone's gonna be gassing.
No, after the year that we've had this summer, I mean, last summer was good despite everything because the sun was out and it was nice because we could at least like go into parks and see other people. But I think if the roadmap is going to follow exactly what has been said, then this year will be probably better than last year.
Everyone just be happy. Oh man, it's just the thought of it, man. Just being out in the club after everything, and everyone's just going to be on cloud nine. It's just going to be amazing.
But I'm also kind of on that thought process of like, I don't want to get my hopes up too much, just in case. I mean, touch wood, nothing happens, but just in case something drastic happens between now and then, that will have to change things. I don't want to sit here and get my hopes up too much and be like, oh yeah, I'm going to be doing this by this day, and then it comes to it and I'm not doing it. But I also don't want to sit here and be pessimistic.
See, I think it was just all the vaccines, and everyone getting vaccinated and all this stuff. I just getting gas them. There's nothing that can go wrong unless the vaccine has a mutation and everyone starts dying off who's had it. That's the only thing I can see stopping it, which I doubt is going to happen. But yeah.
Yeah.
I hope so anyway. Oh, I hope so.
So how's the lockdown affected you then? Like, I know the first one was kind of weird, to get our heads around. Then we had the second one, and over the last three, how do you think they affected you?
But the first one was fine. First one was fine. Second one was fine. This one's been worse because the second one was like, yeah, we're getting better, and then it was back into another lockdown, and that was just like, I think it's more. Not my mental's quite good. It's just my physical, man. I've been sitting down, doing nothing. You can't really gym at home. I do push a couple of push-ups, and I don't know how people jog. How do you open your front door and go for a jog, man?
I can't do it. I can't do it.
Open the door, start sprinting. What do you do?
Nah.
But yeah, what about you? How's it affected you?
I'd say pretty much similar to you. Like the first lockdown, I think the way I saw it at first was, oh yes, we got all this time off work, brilliant. So at first I was just like, oh, I can just chill all day, it's fine. The weather was nice, but then it was fine because I'd moved into the new place. So I was kind of still finding my feet with that. So I didn't really have time to dwell on the lockdown. Then everything kind of went back to normal semi-normal for a little bit. Second one, as you say again, was okay. It wasn't the worst thing ever, but it was, it was all right. But this one has definitely hit me the most. And just like you, I was trying to get my physical exercise up in the first two. It kind of fell out a little bit in the third one. I've tried to start it up again now, and I'm doing little bits here and there. But, this lockdown's really fucked me up.
But you see, I see you said April. You know what that means? After this podcast, it's back to working out and that. Gotta get something, because think about it. The gym's going to be open up, early April as well, and then pubs and stuff. So you have no real time to put on a little bit of like, you know what I'm saying? So you got to do the body weight stuff and everything, get a little bit fit, because obviously when the pubs and everything opens back up, we're gonna be eating takeout, drinking a lot. Exactly. So you need to get yourself prepared. Not to look good, because you're gonna become an absolute mess for the first couple of weeks.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I think, especially, I'm speaking for myself here. In the first lockdown, it was like, well, I'm not doing anything, so I have the ability, because I'm on furlough, I have the ability to just eat shit all the time, get drunk all the time, all of that. And then the second one, I was like, I don't want to do that again. I don't want to fall back into that same category that I did before, where I was just eating shit and not doing much else. So I think people are now going to kind of put their foot on the gas and try and do little things to get them to the right place, so that when gyms do open back up, then it's easier for them. They're not feeling awkward. Because I know a lot of people that feel really awkward in gyms. Like I do. I don't necessarily enjoy going to the gym.
Why not?
Just because I see people in there that are a lot more physically fit than me. And I understand you've got to start somewhere and not everyone's going to be the same fitness level and stuff. But I see people in there that are a lot more physically fit than me, that are doing like weights and all of these crazy things. I'm there on the cross trainer, like sweating my arse off, like panting. And I just think, I just look out of place.
So you know what your problem is, and I reckon this goes for most people. You have your idea of fitness is always different to someone else's. So you're judging it off, say, what the more masculine, the man's man wants to be big, strong, and all that stuff. So you're judging it off, like like the common person would think. Like if you go gym, you're on stage, you've got to be big. But really, fitness just depends what like. You could see someone that's fat as fuck, for example, who's actually physically fit.
Yeah.
But just doesn't look fit. So everyone has different kind of fitness. So
I think you're right. Like, fitness, if you pardon the pun, comes in all shapes and sizes. It's different to each person, as you say. So I'm trying more so now to kind of differentiate that actually what I do for fitness and the way that I work out is going to be different to the way that those people work out over there. So I'm trying to see that for what it is. And
you probably judge yourself off social media people as well. They're all on steads, man. And if they're not on steads, they're on performing enhancing drugs. Like everyone for Gymshark, 100% on stuff. 100%. So never look at someone online and think, oh, I want to be like them, because you're not going to get there. You're just not.
Yeah.
The limitation on the human body is well before that.
I've tried to, as much as I can, like stop following all these like influencers on Instagram and stuff, because as you say, the way that they look, I'm not saying it's necessarily unrealistic body expectations, because clearly people can get to that size, whatever. But I try not to look at it, because I look at some of the guys on Instagram and I'm like, oh, I don't look like that. And that's obviously what people desire, without realizing that every person's beautiful, in whatever body they're in. So I've tried to, as much as I can, step away from following all these influencers and seeing them and stuff.
Wasn't there a woman who was like, is it MTV or whatever it's called, GMTV, Good Morning Britain, and she was like, I should be considered an essential worker because I'm an influencer.
The one who was in Dubai. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interview in Dubai, and she was like, oh, well, what I do is essential work, and I should be considered as an influencer essential. And I think one of them even, it might have been Holly, that was like, what? I'm not influenced to do any work. I want to be on holiday. I can see you in Dubai right now, and it just makes me want to be there.
Exactly. See, it's a joke. Honestly, it doesn't. But the thing is, I don't blame him, because if I could afford it, I'd be there as well. So.
Oh, don't get me wrong. If I could afford it, I'd be there. But I think a lot of these people need to look at the bigger picture. They need to look at what's going on in the world. If it was just in the normal world, go to Dubai, do your thing, great. But because of the situation that everybody's in, I think people's arguments were, you're trying to influence the average person. And right now, the average person can't just get on a flight to Dubai, go to Dubai, even if it is to do exercise or whatever. The average person right now can't do those things. So you're not influencing anybody. You're just showing, I've got money, I've got privilege, I can do these things, and you're still going to watch me because you got that loyalty to me.
Yeah, I agree. That's what I hate about social media influencers. Until we get there ourselves, and then we can.
And then we're like, we're going to Dubai. Although I'd never go to Dubai.
Could you?
Yes, I could physically, but I wouldn't be able to do anything or anyone, because it's still like it's massively like frowned upon, and I think it might be illegal. I don't know the ins and outs.
Although I don't. I never had to.
Yeah. But I just think, like, especially in that kind of side of the world, I wouldn't
take the risk. I wouldn't take the risk.
I also don't feel like it's like, obviously it's a nice place, don't get me wrong. The photos I've seen look beautiful, but it's kind of become one of those destinations where everybody's gone now. So it's like, is there even any fun in it anymore? It's like Bali. Bali looks beautiful, but because everyone and their dog has been to Bali, wants to go to Bali, all of those things, it kind of then becomes like, well, why do I need to go? Because everyone else has been.
See, with Dubai, it just seems it's just an artificial city, really. But I would go there just for, like, you see some of the food and stuff like that. But other than that, you would never catch me there.
I think if I was on a flight somewhere and I had to, like, do a stopover in Dubai, I would go and see the sights. I would go and take in the cuisine, whatever. But I don't think I would necessarily buy a ticket specifically to go to Dubai.
Oh yeah, now nah. Too expensive, don't we?
Yeah, it's way too expensive, I think.
Can you even drink over there? Like, I think it's very strict, like certain places, isn't it? And it's like £15 a point.
And I think a lot of people have said if you go to the more like touristy sides of it, then it's a lot more lenient.
Ah, okay.
But when you go into the actual country, like
it's it's a lot of different landscape completely.
Yeah.
That's what's scary about it, man. But yeah, no.
Definitely. I just, I think, as you say, hopefully we'll get there one day. Not to Dubai, but to being at a stage where even if people just know us, like we're walking down the road and people just know us and they can recognize us from this, and
do you remember
that's what I'd like to be.
Do you remember when I was in B1 and I texted you because some birds come over to me? I was like, "Are you on YouTube?" And I was like, "Wait, what?" And she must have got it wrong because I never show my face on YouTube again, and I doubt she watches this. But
yeah, because also back in the day, when you sent me that text, we weren't actually doing face podcasts at that point, so she couldn't have seen your face on it. But I remember you texted me this person's active on YouTube, and I'm freaked out.
Imagine that my voice is so unique that they're like, "Hey, is he on YouTube?"
Yeah. Imagine.
Absolutely.
But honestly though, I think especially for the podcast and for myself, I would definitely in about, let's say 5 years or so, I would like the podcast to be big. I'd like it to be on loads of different platforms, have loads of people listening to it. I'd kind of, in 5 years, I feel like this is a realistic expectation.
Yeah.
I'd want to have quite a large fan base. I'm not saying millions and millions, but I'd want at least a couple 100,000.
To be fair, you could do that if you have the podcast as well as the other videos we have planned and stuff like that.
Yeah,
then
pipeline.
Yes, we can't disclose, but yeah, no, I reckon easily.
Yeah.
But
I think 5 years is a realistic time frame for that, I think.
Good time to talk, yeah. But what are your overall 5 to 10 year targets? Yeah.
So in 5 years, I'll be 28, or going approaching 28.
28? What the fuck are you on about?
Well,
you're 22.
Yeah, but I'm 23 next month.
So how will you be 28? Oh, wait, hold on.
Years.
Oh, okay, yeah, I'll let you off.
Yeah.
I was thinking of 10. I was like, what? 18?
No, so by the time I'm late 20s,
yes,
I want to at least have a house. Have, whether it's a mortgage or I want to have a house. I want to obviously I want to be with someone. I want to be in a relationship and be living with them, but ideally starting to plan for kids and the future and stuff. What are you smirking at? What's funny?
I had no idea. I was like, you having kids, and then me coming around, they're completely confused. So, because obviously we'll say we're brothers, and they're gonna be like, wait, what?
Yeah. But hold on, he's darker than you.
That's what I was laughing at.
But yeah, I think in 5 years, definitely I want to, have a boyfriend, of kind of settle down, live with them, kind of be in. I never liked the idea of permanence, so I don't want to say I'm going to be in my forever home in 5 years, because that could change in 10 years. But I want to at least be in a home where it's for now, this is my
home. Yeah. See, that's a good idea, to be fair. So 28, have your own mortgage house.
Yeah.
Have a mister. And talking about adoption or what would you do?
I've kind of toyed with both. I would do adoption if I couldn't get a surrogate, but ideally my first option would be surrogacy. And I think a lot of people say that, if you adopt it, it's not your kid, but it's it is your kid because you've adopted them. That's your child.
You've actually chosen them. They're special. They're different.
Exactly. Yes, that child might not have your DNA, but that's your child. But I do want a kid that has my DNA if I can, as the first kind of protocol. And then obviously if I can't, then I'll adopt. But yeah, I think it's for gay couples. I think it's good because there isn't an accidental option. I guess there
Yeah.
isn't that thought of, oh, we could accidentally make a child. We have to plan. We have to go through all the different processes and this, that, and the other. So that's what I'd want to be doing in 5 years, like planning for that moment.
That seems like you've actually thought about it, like house and everything. Yeah, that's quite good. And
I don't know if I'd want to be married within 5 years. Like 28, it still seems like quite young to be married. I don't know, like what age people get married at anymore?
I reckon if you've been with someone like 7, 8 years, you've got to get married because you can't be like, yeah, that's my boyfriend for 15 years. Like you can't do that.
But yeah, you ain't got married.
You might as well just put a ring on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But see, I've known enough people that have been boyfriend girlfriend, for example, for years. As soon as they get married, 2 or 3 years down the line, don't work out.
I don't know what happens with that.
You know what I think it is? It's because you feel trapped. You feel like you're legally binded and trapped. That's what it is. So
I think, but I'd at least, I think in 5 years, I'd at least like to be engaged. Let's say that. I think 5 years is realistic for that.
I don't know. I can't see that.
What, for me or for you?
No, me.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what it is, man. But I had this discussion last night, to be fair. And I was just thinking, like, I don't see it. I don't. I see settling down with someone one day and having kids and that.
Yeah.
But it's just getting to that stage because it's such a big task, really. And I have never really thought about it in depth. So kind of like.
I think. Yeah, I think, obviously I've thought about it. And as I say, it depends on what happens in the next 5 years. It depends on where I am in 5 years' time. But it's kind of always something that I wanted. It's something that I'd always thought about. So ideally in 5 years, it'd be nice to, be engaged.
And 10 years be married.
Yeah, I think in 10 years, 32 going on 33, I'd at least like to, again, be in a nice house, be married, hopefully have maybe 1 or 2 kids at that point. And yeah, just be in a job or be doing something that is successful, something that I enjoy doing, that, makes me a good amount of money, that I can live and be comfortable.
Would you like in the future then for Time to Talk, the podcast, or whatever we branch into, you never know, to be your main source of income, really?
Yeah, I'd love that. If this all works out and goes really well, it could go really well. And so if that ends up becoming like the thing that pays the bills and the thing that I do, I like doing this. So if it became my permanent job, perfect, Yeah,
of course.
What about you? Because I know that you like to also be very practical with things as well, like in terms of jobs. I don't know if I'm saying that right.
Well, to be fair, yeah, I do like being practical, but if this gets bigger and I actually get a laptop that works, then I could do my editing like I used to do on my other channel. If you ever want to check it out, it's my name. But yeah, to be fair, I do like what I do now, quantity surveying, which is good. But if this took off and I was making more money doing this than I would do doing that, then it's a no-brainer. I would do this, but I'd have to have like a side job in construction or something like that, or start my own little business with like maintenance works or something like that. I'd have to be.
I guess that's not bad though, because you're still playing to your strengths. You're still staying in the lane that you've always been in and you enjoy being in and stuff. So it's not a bad thing to do those things.
Yeah. So that's work-wise, relationship-wise. I don't know, man, because I don't know. Like, there's obviously the one, not the one, but there's the one out there that and there's a girl I like and chat to now. Even though, But other than that, do I see that potentially in 5-7 years? I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's the thing. You can't at this point. It's really hard to say because you don't know what's going to happen in 2 weeks, let alone 10 years. So it's all well and good having ideas and kind of thinking, I want to do this. But what you want to do isn't necessarily what you're going to do,
Exactly. So I could say 28. But I reckon I've always said I want a kid by 28. I don't care because then when it's 12, I'm 40. And then when it's 18, I'm 46.
I guess when you look at it like that.
So when I'm 46, I'd still consider myself relatively young.
Okay.
So if they wanted to do something, I can still do it. And then when they're 21, I'm like 49, 50, and I'm dad bod
Do it your fucking
galore,
self.
man.
Go on.
Dad dancing on the dance floor. And that.
One of them ones where you've got your pursed lips and like.
And you're completely out of time. Like, yeah.
I feel like if you don't do that at least once, then are you even a real parent?
You know what's going to do? It's the idea of doing. So imagine on a family holiday, absolutely rat-assed with your fellow or with your girlfriend, and you're just having the time of your life, and your kids are just so embarrassed by their parents. That's the dream, isn't it?
Honestly, I think about a lot of scenarios like that all the time, where I'm just, it's always been in my head. I've always wanted to be a parent. Like I like the thought of being a parent. And I feel like I'm quite good at it. The thought of being a parent. But just for those little embarrassing moments, but also like the nice sincere moments where like they can come home and I've had a really good day at school today, Dad, and I did this, just those little things. They make me feel like I want to be a parent, man.
The one day I'll dread as a parent, as if I had a son or daughter, and they come home and say they're being bullied.
Yeah, that's it. Game over.
Brother, I'll tell you.
I'd march up to that school of like, right, who do I need to talk to?
I think I'd just slap the dad.
Sort your kid out.
What do you do? Like
I mean, I'll come for any bitch. Like, you know me, I'll come for anyone. But I can't do that as a parent.
You can't.
Set the example.
A 6-year-old. What are you doing?
Come here, dickhead. Come here.
But yeah, so and the first heartbreak. Oh,
that's gonna kill me.
Because their little soul crying, you can hear it.
I know. And like they sit on their bed and they're crying and all that. And then you do that little like knock on the door. Can I come in? No, go away. And it's like, okay.
Do you want McDonald's? Yes.
I'll get you a 20 nugget share box, Bab.
We'll share it together and cry. Both of you are crying over your exes.
And then my husband walks in like, what?
Lewis, who are you crying over? It doesn't matter.
No, what?
Oh,
but no, I think, I think they're quite realistic expectations that we have in terms of 5 and 10 years and stuff like that. And in 10 years, if this kicks off, I'd love this to be huge. I'd love, if we branched out into TV, let's say we got like a talk show, that'd be sick.
I don't reckon this will get on TV. Do you know why it wouldn't get on TV?
Because we'd have to go well past the watershed.
No, not even that. TV's dying, man. Look at Netflix. Look at all them. Yeah. TV's going to be dead soon. Genuinely, it's going to be dead. Like you don't even need TV anymore. But that's the way it's going to go. No TV, all subscription-based services.
And I think especially with lockdown, these subscription-based services have realised that actually more people will buy into them because it's a lot easier for them. Like, so I reckon soon cinemas are going to be gone. Soon cinemas are going to have no need because they can upload films onto these streaming services and give you like a free trial or free membership or whatever. I feel like people are going to get to a stage where if they don't need to leave the house to watch a film and pay that money and pay like for the service charge and all that, they won't.
I don't agree.
You not think?
What is a nice date night? Go to the movies.
I don't think it's a good first date.
No, but it's a good date. Like,
okay, yeah, okay. If you've been together and like it's not your first date, maybe. But I always think avoid the cinema on a first date.
Yeah, because if you ever take someone on this is advice to everyone who's listening. If you want to get to know someone, why would you take them to somewhere you can't talk?
Sit in silence, yeah.
That movie was really good, wasn't it? Yeah, great.
Have you had a good date? Well, I haven't really spoken to you much.
What's your favourite colour?
How many siblings have you got?
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, to be fair, first date has always got to be food. Because you can judge how they eat, how they chew, how they speak if their mouth's open and stuff.
Yeah.
Unless you're me and completely forget. Honestly, on a date before, I can get the girl to send me a message. I dribbled on myself with the water as a joke. You know how I do it all the time. I was that comfortable. I was just like, "Yes, how you doing?" And then she was answering, and I spat it on my.
Oh my! I bet afterwards you were like, "Oh."
Thing is, she was cool with it.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, I wonder if her name's Alex if she's ever listening. But yeah,
I think my idea of a good first date is to kind of do something like food, but do something competitive as well. So, for example, I went on a first date like a good few months ago now, before like all of this lockdown bullshit, and we went to get a golf, and it was really fun because you can still get to know someone, you can still speak to them, but you see what they're like in a competitive setting, and you can kind of have that bit of like banter and flirting and stuff, and then you have the food afterwards and you can talk and have a drink. I just feel like that is a good first date.
What's your motto when it comes to winning things then?
Coming second is the first loser.
See, for me, it's if you're not first, you're last.
Yeah, that's basically
Ricky Bobby.
The way that my dad has always raised me and my sister were just like, yeah, if you're not first, you're last. And it's like, oh yeah, I got second place. Well, that's the first loser.
Yeah, it's like you came first in something, you suck.
Yeah, you came first in the loser category.
So well done for that.
Yeah, that's kind of. I don't like losing. I don't like any of that. I'm very competitive when it comes down to it. Even so much as like on the Wii, when we play like Wii bowling, I get so competitive on there.
I seen you at Just Dance. Whew, get a sweat, you do. What are you going?
And I'm like, come on.
The thing is, you move your whole body when you only have to do this, and you literally.
And that's the thing. I'm there moving my whole body, sweating my ass off, getting hardly any points, and then I've got Chloe next to me, literally just doing this, and she's winning all the points. I'm like, what the fuck? It's
a very cracked game.
Yeah.
But,
you got to know how to cheat the system.
That's for everything in life.
Yeah. That's another bit of life advice there, people. You've got to know how to cheat the system.
It's also not what you know, it's who you know. That's just
in any aspect of life.
100%.
I think on that very
depressed somber note.
Not depressing. I want to say knowledgeable note.
Knowledgeable.
Yeah, I think this is where we bid our farewell.
It is indeed, and sorry for drinking so much. Hydration is key. That's another tip for you.
Another handy tip there. But yeah, I mean, the option now that people have, I guess you can watch it on YouTube or you can listen to it on Spotify. Follow us on Spotify. Time to Talk the podcast with Lewis and Reiss. And yeah, give us a like, give us a share, give us a subscribe, and all of that jazz.
Also, we have a Q&A one coming up soon, so please get your questions in, even in the comments if you wanna. But we're available on Twitter, Instagram. And can you even comment on Spotify? I don't think you can.
I don't think you can. I mean, we've got an email address if you want to email us, you know.
Yeah, if you want to.
So just any way you can, just get questions in and we'll be answering those.
We've had a couple already, so, just letting you all know. Get in there first. So skip it.
But yeah, awesome.
So,
thanks for listening, guys.
Bye.
See you later. How the hell? I'll stop recording.